How do you get divorced in Las Vegas? Hello, everybody. My name is Daniel Wiafi, and I am the owner of Vegas Divorce Pros out here in beautiful and sunny Las Vegas, Nevada. And I'm coming at you with some more tutorials on getting a divorce out here in Las Vegas. So before you guys get started, my disclaimer is we are not attorneys. We are licensed document preparers. For our disclaimers that we're required to show you by the state, you can look below this video and you can read them. So we are bonded by the state for $50,000 and we help hundreds of people every single month get their divorce. All right. But that being said, let's go ahead and get into answering that question. How do you get divorced in Las Vegas? So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my whiteboard because we're going to get to typing here in a moment. Okay, so how do you get divorced in Las Vegas? Some of you guys are just banging your head on the wall. You're like, oh my God, I got to divorce that guy. I got to divorce that woman, right? And I'm going to make it bold. All right. So there's a couple different things that we need to determine. Okay. Two things, actually. All right. So, number one, is your spouse going to sign the divorce papers? And then number two, let's go ahead and put that or, don't want to forget that, right? Is your spouse not going to sign the divorce papers? Okay. So those are two very important questions that you need to answer. Okay. Because they are going to determine what way or what route you need to take in order to get a divorce out here in Las Vegas. Okay. So let's pretend or let's go under the assumption that, hey, you're good with your spouse, they're not acting like a fool or any of that other stuff. So you know that they're not going to give you any problems. Okay. Like that's the best case scenario whenever a spouse is like that, because what happens is the divorce is a lot cheaper if your spouse is just wanting to play ball and sign the papers. Okay. And it's a lot shorter. Okay. So, spouse signs the divorce papers. Yay. All right. So, what is going to happen, you guys, is first off, you'll do a joint petition divorce. Okay. And so, encompassed in a joint petition divorce is going to be a joint petition for summary summary decree of divorce. And summary decree just means that you are getting a divorce without having to appear before the judge. Okay. So that document is going to need to be signed and notarized by both two parties. Okay. And let me go ahead and make this just a little bit smaller. And let's take out the bold. There we go. All right. All right. So it's going to need to be signed and notarized by both two of you guys. Okay. That's the important thing. All right. And this is the main document, you guys. This joint petition is going to describe how you split up property, debts, if there's any spousal supports, whether there's a name change. So maybe the wife changed her name, or nowadays some husbands are changing their names as well, right? And then it's going to have a few more bits of information. Now, if you have kids, All right. You're going to need to address the custody. So you're going to need to address the legal custody. You're going to need to address the physical custody. You're going to need to address how the visitation agreement is going to go. You're going to need to address whether child support is being paid or not. And then who is claiming kids for taxes. And then also who is covering the health and dental insurance. Okay. And so you're going to cover all that in the joint petition divorce. All right. Next document that you're going to need is what's called the affidavit of resident witness. So affidavit of resident witness. And this is basically a document that's signed by a person that has lived in Las Vegas for at least 6 months. And they are basically stating that they know for a fact that you have lived here for at least 6 weeks, because you have to have lived in Las Vegas for at least 6 weeks in order to establish residency, okay? So it's basically a document that proves you're a resident of Nevada, AKA, well, i.e., you've lived here for at least 6 weeks, all right? Simple enough. Now, you're also going to need to have a decree of divorce. And the decree of divorce is actually what the judge is going to sign. So he or she is going to sign that at the very end of your divorce process. And what you're going to do is you're going to file the joint petition, the affidavit of resident witness. You're going to pay your filing fee, okay? And then there's a few other documents which you need to also file as well, which I'll put here in a second. And then once all that has been filed and you have a case number, you're going to take that joint petition with the case number, and it's been stamped by the court. And then you're going to attach it to the back of the divorce decree or the decree of divorce, okay? And then the decree of divorce is going to pretty much summarize and call into effect that, hey, we're seeking a divorce on the grounds of incompatibility, whatever the grounds are that you've chosen. And judge, I ask for you to look at Exhibit A, which is this file joint petition, which basically spells out how we're going to split up property, debts, name changes, custody for our kids, child support, visitation, all that good stuff. And then the judge, there's going to be a spot on the last page of the divorce decree where the judge is going to sign. And then once the judge has signed that, then you're officially divorced. Okay. There's also going to be 2 spots for you and your spouse to sign on that divorce decree, and you'll sign there. Good thing is you do not need to have that notarized. So one less things had notarized, right? So in summary, I know that was a mouthful that I just said. This is going to be the final document that the joint petition, I'm going to call it JP for short, is attached to, and it is submitted to the courthouse for the judge to sign. Once judge signs, yay, you were divorced. All right. Now, in addition, there's a couple other documents that do need to be filed as well. Okay. And I am going to open up a new screen. Okay. And these are just supporting documents. So you're going to need to have a cover sheet. And the cover sheet just basically has your information, your spouse's information, like addresses, phone numbers, email addresses, whether you have an attorney or not, and a few other things. It's going to have information regarding your kids if you have any kids. And then you are going to have a confidential information sheet. And that basically has your socials. Okay. You, your spouse, and your kids' socials if you have any kids. Okay. Boom. Now, additionally, if you have kids in Clark County, I can't spell today. In Clark County, you're going to need to take what's called a COPE class or a parenting class. Okay. I know some of you guys who are parents, you're saying, Daniel, but I know how to parent. Hey, I know you know how to parent. I'm not saying you don't know how to parent, but that's just what the court requires if you live out here in Clark County. Okay. So you got to take it. Otherwise, the judge is not going to sign that divorce decree. Okay. We get a lot of people in our office and they're like, I don't need the court to tell me how to parent. I don't need to take a parenting class. And they tell it to us like we have a control over it. Okay. So this class can actually be done online. Okay. And in some cases you can file a waiver for it, but it's usually best to just take it. Okay. You can take the class online. And usually it's $39 each person. And it takes like 2-3 hours on average. Okay. And then they're going to give you a certificate of completion at the end. And then you're going to file that with everything else. Okay. If you have us prepare and file your documents, then you just give that to us. Okay. And so what you're going to do, make this a little bit bigger. If you're doing it yourself, okay, so you could just take the easy way and then just have us do it, okay, the easy way. Have Vegas Divorce Pros do my divorce. Less headache. You don't have to take off work. You don't have to go spend hours and hours in the courthouse waiting in line. Nobody wants to do that, do they? Don't waste hours in the courthouse waiting in line, catching COVID, okay? And you don't have the chance of messing up and having your documents rejected by the court, because they will reject your documents in a heartbeat, in a flash, if you do it incorrectly. Okay, so many people that come to us after they've tried filing it themselves, and we pretty much come in and save the day. We're like Superman and Wonder Woman up in here. Okay. Oh yeah, to reach us, that would be helpful, wouldn't it? You can go to vegasdivorcepros.com, or you can call or text us 24/7 at 702-751-6095. Okay. Now, if you do it yourself, you're going to actually, let me make this bold so that y'all can see. This is my plug for, ooh, I didn't mean to make all that bold. So let's unbold that because that just got ugly real quick. Okay, well, y'all can see this. All right, so if you're doing this yourself, you're going to take all the documents to the courthouse once they've been filled out, signed, notarized, and all that, and pay your court filing fee, okay? Now, how much is it? It is $2.99 if you're filing in person, or $303 if you're filing online. Okay. And so once you get everything filed, you guys, usually it takes about 1 to 3 weeks. And as long as nothing else is needed by the court, the judge will sign off on the divorce decree. we've had a lot of cases, you guys, especially the ones that have no kids, where once we get it filed with the courthouse, sometimes they're coming back like the same day. Sometimes my team will file the divorce papers at 10 o'clock in the morning, and by 4:30 in the afternoon, we've got a message back from the courthouse that they've signed the divorce decree. And I'm like, wow, okay. So, but no, I don't like telling people same day divorces because obviously that's not going to happen for everybody, but usually 1 to 3 weeks. Okay. So once everything is filed, usually, okay, you're looking at 1 to 3 weeks for finalization. All right. So I hope this helped somebody. If it did, make sure you like this video and make sure you share this video and watch it over again. Okay. It'll help you. If you don't want to do the divorce process yourself, which it can be strenuous, I'll tell you, it can be very, very strenuous. Okay. If you don't want to do that process yourself, then guys, then make sure you go to vegasdivorcepros.com or call or text us 24/7, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at this number, 751-6095. And we will be glad to help you. So, Danny Wiafi, hope you have a great and an awesome day.